Krishna কোথায় তোমরা? নতুন বাড়ি বাড়িগুলো পরিষ্কার দেখি
মালা দিয়ে কি পাওয়া গেছে তো
মালা দিয়ে পেয়েছো
আমার মনে হয় মন্দিরে বাড়িতে দিতে
চেয়ারগুলো রিটার্ন দিবে না
তোমাদের ইয়াগুলা প্যাডগুলা ভেরি ইউজফুল
পাতা দিয়ে ভেরি ইউজফুল টাইম তো লাগবে
people need to be humble like the grass, tolerant like the tree.
Yeah, I know.
This conference, on a nice soft pad, they need to sit on it.
You have to give the devotee the comfort. If you give devotee comfort, Krishna feels happy, more happy. If devotee is happy, Krishna is more happy. Yeah, but you making Krishna happy, but you are not making devotee happy.
When you don't want to go over here.
On your pretty straight, they're not going to feel like you finished. You have to actually put it on.
কতগুলো প্রশ্ন পড়ার পেজ আমি তোমাদের লিখে রিভিউ করতে লিখতেও ভালো না তাহলে এটা এক্সেল just একটা এসে লিখে পাঠায় then we'll edit it and then email
বাবাকে বলছে আমি বলছি
figure out right why like how are you gonna like what are you gonna do after second
How would I feel both?
Maybe Brahman and quality and then basically teaching the process of what you do.
আজকে তো একাদশী সিনেমা করেছিলাম তাই তো প্যারাডি রান্না করেছি বলবো না তোর একাদশী প্যাকেট একাদশী একাদশী রাইট Really, Maharani, easy. Huh? Yeah, Rami is not having nothing today. They must have having a
try.
I think I have to put it in.
Yeah, I think that was good. Good. Like this one we got it from Walmart. It's from um,
Hallelujah.
yeah, it's palm. Joy আমি আসলে কথা অনেক দিক থাকবে তো ওর ইন্টারভিউ হয়ে গেছে ওর জাস্ট ওখানে লিস্টে নাম তবে ওরা মঙ্গলবারে আসবে বৃহস্পতিবারে দীক্ষা কালই চলে যাবে ওদের সাথে আরো একটা শান্তি আসবে ওই পরের দিন ওরা একটু দিতে যাবে ওরা আসে মঙ্গলবারে বৃহস্পতিবারে
বৃহস্পতিবারে তোরা দীক্ষা দিচ্ছে না কটার সময় মন্দিরে
বৃহস্পতিবার প্রোগ্রামের মধ্যে আমি বুধবার সকালে মাত্র বাসে যাও গিয়ে জিজ্ঞেস করবো খাওয়াটার সময় খাওয়া কেন একটা পাঠিয়ে দাও তো ইমেল করে দিব তারপরে তাকে এখানে গিয়ে রেসপন্স করবো যে বলতে হবে অলরেডি কোনো লিস্ট বানাচ্ছে তো তার সময় আজকে রাতে ট্রাই করে রাখতে ঠিক আছে অনলাইন
মানে কত total life right তার মধ্যে 6,000 ডক্টর রামদাস বেশি সবচেয়ে কম 2 মিলিয়ন নিচে 1.1 মিলিয়ন বার 3 মিলিয়ন
Hare Krishna, Sandhya Mataji, Gaurav Prabhu, Deepa Mataji, Lalit Mohan Prabhu, Suman Prabhu, Samita Mataji, Dandavad Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Is my audio clear?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for joining today. Let us begin with Mangalacharana Prayer and start reading Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd Canto, 1st chapter. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chaksharanmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karati vacharam pangam langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Mishwaram Om Apavitra Pavitro Va Sarvavasangato Biva Yasmare Pundari Paksham Sabhyabhyantaram Suji Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu. Thank you so much. So let me see, where are we? Okay, 22nd verse, we are at. Let me open up. Yes. Please start, Mataji, Deepa Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam. Translation and perfect by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ఇది చదవాలా ప్రభుజీ మన వర్డ్స్ అక్కర్లేదు కదా
No, just translation. Translation.
Translation and perfect by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The fortunate King Parikshit, inquiring further, said, O Brahmana, please describe in full detail how and where the mind has to be applied and how the conception can be fixed so that the dirty things in a person's mind can be removed. Purport. The dirty things in the heart of a conditioned soul are the root cause of all troubles for him. A conditioned soul is surrounded by the manifold miseries of material existence, but on account of his gross ignorance, he is unable to remove the troubles due to dirty things in the heart, accumulated during the long prison life in the material world. He is actually meant to serve the will of the Supreme Lord, but on account of the dirty things in the heart, he likes to serve his concocted desires. These desires, instead of giving him any peace of mind, create new problems and thus bind him to the cycle of repeated birth and death. These dirty things of fruitive work and empiric philosophy can be removed only by association with the Supreme Lord. The Lord, being omnipotent, can offer his association by his inconceivable potencies. Thus, persons who are unable to pin their faith on the personal feature of the Absolute are given a chance to associate with his Virat Rupa, or the cosmic impersonal feature of the Lord. The cosmic impersonal feature of the Lord is a feature of his unlimited potencies. Since the potent and potencies are identical, even the conception of his impersonal cosmic feature helps the conditioned soul to associate with the Lord indirectly and thus gradually rise to the stage of personal contact. Maharaja Parikshit is already directly connected with the personal feature of Lord Sri Krishna, and as such he had no need to inquire from Shukdev Goswami about where and how to apply the mind in the impersonal Virat Rupa of the Lord. But he inquired after a detailed description of the matter for the benefit of others who are unable to conceive of the transcendental personal feature of the Lord as the form of eternity, knowledge and bliss. The non-devotee class of men cannot think of the personal feature of the Lord. Because of their poor fund of knowledge, the personal form of the Lord, like Rama or Krishna, is completely revolting to them. They have a poor estimation of the potency of the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita 9.11, it is explained by the Lord himself that people with a poor fund of knowledge deride the Supreme Personality of Lord, taking him to be a common man. Such men are ignorant of the inconceivable potency of the Lord. By the inconceivable potency of Lord, he can move in human society or any other society of living beings and yet remain the same omnipotent Lord without deviating in the slightest form from his transcendental position. So, for the benefit of men who are unable to accept the Lord in his personal eternal form, Maharaja Parikshit inquired from Shukdev Goswami how to fix the mind on him in the beginning, and Goswami replied in detail as follows. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. The fortunate King Parikshit, inquiring further, said, O Brahmana, please describe in full detail how and where the mind has to be applied, and how the conception can be fixed so that the dirty things in a person's mind can be removed. Yeah. So this inquiry from the Parikshit Maharaj applicable for all the living entities, all of us actually. So that is the benefit by hearing in these personalities. Second verse, yeah. Samyukta Mataji, can you please read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Sukadev Goswami answered, one should control the sitting posture, regulate the breathing process by the yogic pranayama, and thus control the mind and senses, and with intelligence apply the mind to the gross potencies of the Lord, called the Virat Rupa. Purport. The materially absorbed mind of the conditioned soul does not allow him to transcend the limit of the bodily conception of self, and thus the yoga system for meditation, controlling the sitting posture and breathing process and fixing the mind upon the Supreme, is prescribed in order to mold the character of the gross materialist. Unless such materialists are able to cleanse the materially absorbed mind, it is impossible for them to concentrate upon thoughts of transcendence. And to do so, one may fix one's mind on the gross material or external feature of the Lord. The different parts of the gigantic form of the Lord are described in the following words. The materialistic men are very anxious to have some mystic powers as a result of such a controlling process. But the real process of yogic regulations is to eradicate the accumulated dirty things like lust, anger, avarice, and all such material contaminations. If the mystic yogi is diverted by the accompanying feats of mystic control, then his mission of yogic success is a failure, because the ultimate aim is God realization. He is therefore recommended to fix his gross materialistic mind by different conception and thus realize the potency of the Lord. As soon as the potencies are understood to be instrumental manifestations of the transcendence, one automatically advances to the next step, and gradually the stage of full realization becomes possible for him. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Prabhuji, lust, anger, avarice, and Prabhuji, what is that avarice, Prabhuji?
Yes. Greed and good. Let me see.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Extreme greed, yeah.
Greed. Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Sandhya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. This genetic manifestation of the phenomenal material world as a whole is the personal body of the absolute truth, wherein the universal resultant past, present, and future of material time is experienced. Purport. Anything, either material or spiritual, is but an expansion of the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And as stated in the Bhagavad Gita 13.13, the omnipotent Lord has his transcendental eyes, heads, and other bodily parts distributed everywhere. He can see, hear, touch, or manifest himself anywhere and everywhere, for he is present everywhere as a super soul of all infinitesimal souls. Although he has his particular abode in the absolute world, the relative world is also his phenomenal representation, because it is nothing but an expansion of his transcendental energy. Although he is in his abode, his energy is distributed everywhere, just as the sun is localized as well as expanded everywhere, since the rays of the sun, being non-different from the sun, are accepted as expansions of the sun disk. In the Vishnu Purana 1.22.52, it is said that as fire expands its rays and heat from one place, similarly the Supreme Spirit, the personality of Godhead, expands himself by his manifold energy everywhere and anywhere. The phenomenal manifestation of the Jinjatic universe is only a part of his Virat body. Less intelligent men cannot conceive of the transcendental all spiritual form of the Lord, but they are astounded by his different energies, just as the aborigines are struck with wonder by the manifestation of lighting, a Jinjatic mountain, or a hugely expanded banyan tree. The uh, the aborigines praise the strength of the tiger and the elephant because of their superior energy and strength. The asuras cannot recognize the existence of the Lord, although there are vivid descriptions of the Lord in the revealed scriptures. Although the Lord incarnates and exhibits his uncommon strength and energy, and although he is accepted as the Supreme Personality of Godhead by learned scholars and saints like Vyasadeva, Narada, Asita, and Devala in the past, and by Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, as also by the Acharyas like Shankara, Ramanuja, Madhava, and Lord Sri Chaitanya in the modern age. The Asuras do not accept any evidential proof from the revealed scriptures, nor do they recognize the authority of the great Acharyas. They want to see with their own eyes at once. Therefore, they can see the Jinjatic body of the Lord as Virat, which will answer their challenge. And since they are accustomed to paying homage to superior material strength like that of the tiger, elephant, and lightning, they can offer respect to the Virata Rupa. Lord Krishna, by the request of Arjuna, exhibited his Virata Rupa for the Asuras. A pure devotee of the Lord, being accustomed to looking into such a mundane Jinjatic form of the Lord, requires special vision for the purpose. The Lord therefore favored Arjuna with special vision for looking into his Virat Rupa, which is described in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. The Virat Rupa of the Lord was especially manifested not for the benefit of Arjuna, but for that unintelligent class of men who accept anyone and everyone as the incarnation of the Lord and so mislead the general mass of people. For them, the indication is that one should ask the chief incarnation to exhibit his Virata Rupa and thus be established as an incarnation. The Virata Rupa manifestation of the Lord is simultaneously a challenge to the atheist and a favor for the Asuras, who can think of the Lord as Virat and thus gradually cleanse the dirty things from their hearts in order to become qualified to actually see the transcendental form of the Lord in the near future. This is a favor of the all merciful Lord to the atheist and the gross materialists.
Thank you, Mataji.
Prabhuji.
Just want to understand. Even I don't know this word meaning.
Aborigines ante old natives, native land. That has been a country of region. Ante oka particular region the native people.
Yes, ma'am. A person, an animal, a plant that has been in a country or a region from earliest times. Okay.
Natives అంటాం కదా ప్రభుజీ మీ యుఎస్ లో అయితే మీరున్న భాషలో నేటివ్స్ అంటారు చెప్పండి
First Nations.
మీ natives are called as aborigines actually in Australia. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Radhika Mataji, Hare Krishna. Can you please read?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
No.
Chant purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The gigantic universal form of the personality of Godhead within the body of the universal shell, which is covered by sevenfold material elements, is the subject for the Virat conception. Purport. Simultaneously, the Lord has multifarious other forms, and all of them are identical with the original fountainhead form of the Lord, Sri Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita, it has been proven that the original transcendental and eternal form of the Lord is Sri Krishna, the absolute personality of Godhead. But by his inconceivable internal potency, Atma Maya, he can expand himself by multivarious forms and incarnations simultaneously without being diminished in his full potency. He is complete, and although innumerable complete forms emanate from him, he is still complete without any loss. That is his spiritual or eternal potency. Internal potency. In the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, manifested his Virat Roop just to convince the less intelligent class of men who cannot conceive of the Lord as appearing just like a human being, that he factually has the potency of his claim to be the supreme absolute person without any rival or superior. Materialistic men can think, although very imperfectly, of the huge universal space comprehending an innumerable number of planets as big as the sun. They can see only the circular sky overhead, without any information that this universe, as well as many other hundreds of thousands of universes, are each covered by sevenfold material coverings of water, fire, air, sky, ego, noumenon, and material nature. Just like a huge football, pumped and covered, floating on the water of the causal ocean, wherein the Lord is lying as Mahavishnu. All the universes in seed are emanating from the breathing of the Mahavishnu, who is but part of a partial expansion of the Lord. And all the universes presided over by the Brahmas vanish when the Mahavishnu withdraws his great breath. In this way, the material worlds are being created and vanished by the supreme will of the Lord. The poor, foolish materialist can just imagine how ignorantly he puts forward an insignificant creature to become his rival incarnation simply on the allegations of a dying man. The Virat roop was particularly exhibited by the Lord just to give lessons to such foolish men so that one can accept a person as the incarnation of Godhead only if such a person is able to exhibit such a Virat roop as Lord Krishna did. The materialistic person may concentrate his mind upon the Virat or gigantic form of the Lord in his own interest and recommended by Shukadev Goswami, but he must be on his guard not to be misled by pretenders who claim to be identical person as Lord Krishna but are not able to act like him or exhibit the Virat roop, comprehending the whole of the universe. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Mate. Thank you so much. Just want to know just what is this? Anybody knows? Anyway, I'm taking help here. No, no, me. No, no, me, none. Distinction of things knowable by the senses through phenomenal attributes. Okay. So what is saying? A thing as it is in itself as distinct from a thing as it is knowable by the senses. So beyond our senses, the supreme law. That's what is. What is the point here? Okay. Coverings of the sevenfold material coverings of water, fire, air, sky, ego, noumenon, and material nature. Just like a huge football, pumped and covered, floating on the water of the causal ocean. Okay. Beyond our sense perception. Okay. Yes. Lavanya, can you continue?
Hare Krishna. Yeah. And I remember the verse Purnamadam Purnamidam, that previous verse in the starting beginning. There is last, although everything emanates from him, he remains constant, like he is same. Nothing can be diminished.
Yeah. In his complete creation, everything is complete Purnam.
Yeah. Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Persons who have realized it have studied that the planets known as Patala constitute the bottoms of the feet of the universal Lord, and the heels and the toes are the Rasatala planets. The ankles are the Mahatala planets, and his shanks constitute the Talatala planets. Purport. Outside the bodily existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the manifested cosmic existence has no reality. Everything and anything. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Everything and anything.
Lavanya, I mean, wherever network is there, since you are in Varangal, wherever network is good, please sit there and sometimes breaking.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Outside the bodily existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the manifested cosmic existence has no reality. Everything and anything of the manifested world rests on him, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 9.4. but that does not imply that everything and anything in the vision of the materialist is the supreme personality. The conception of the universal form of the Lord gives a chance to the materialist to think of the Supreme Lord. But the materialist must know for certain that his visualization of the world is a spirit of lording over it. It is not God realization. The materialistic view of exploitation of the material resources is occasioned by the illusion of the external energy of the Lord. And as such, if anyone wants to realize the supreme truth by conceiving of the universal form of the Lord, he must cultivate the service attitude. Unless the service attitude is revived, the conception of Virat realization will have very little effect on the seer. The transcendental Lord in any conception of his form is never a part of the material creation. He keeps his identity as the Supreme Spirit in all circumstances and is never affected by the three material qualities. For everything material is contaminated, the Lord always exists by his internal energy. Can I continue?
Yeah, complete.
The universe is divided into 14 planetary systems, 7 planetary systems called Bhur, Bhuvar, Swar, Mahar, Janas, Tapas, Satya, are upward planetary system, and one above the other. There are 7 planetary systems downward known as Atala, Vittala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala and Patala gradually, one below the other. In this universe, the description begins from the bottom because it is in the line of devotion that the Lord's bodily description should begin from his feet. Sukadeva Goswami is a recognized devotee of the Lord and he is exactly correct in the description.
Very good. In this verse. 14 planetary systems, their names, 7 planetary systems called Bhur, Bhuvar, Swar, Mahar, Janas, Tapas, and Satya are upward planetary systems, and lower planetary systems are Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, and Patala. So 9.4, what is this? Let me quickly see. Mayatatamidam sarvam jagadavyakamurtina masani sarvabhutani nachaham te svavastitah. By me, in my unmanifested form, the entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. Is aloof from all the material quality. That's where Prabhupada writes.
Now, that's the meaning, I think. Now,
he keeps his identity as Supreme Spirit in all circumstances, and is never affected by the three material qualities. For everything material is contaminated, the Lord always exists by his internal energy. How can we understand? Krishna, when he depart from this, material, world, he was still looks like 16-year-old young boy, because it's a spiritual body. The metal body is contaminated. Why contaminated? We have to change the body. 6 changes of the bodies, right? Every living entity has undergone these 6 changes. Body bonds, body grows, body gives some byproducts, body stays for some time, and body is going to diminish and vanishes, ultimately vanishes. That's the thing. Yeah. Let us continue. Now Prabhu's turn. So let me see. Gaurav Prabhu, can you please read? Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Gaurav Prabhuji? Yeah. You're speaking on mute, I don't know. Anyway, I'll ask somebody. Akincham Priya Prabhu?
Sorry, Prabhuji, something was wrong with it.
Read. Yes,
no, it's working. Sorry. Translation. The knees of the universal form are the planetary system of the names Sutala, and the 2 thighs are the Vitala and Atala planetary systems. The hips are Mahitala, and the outer space is the depression of the navel, of his navel.
Yes, so description about the Virat Rupa of Supreme Lord, all the planetary systems, how he looks like. It's a description. No. Can continue this also, Prabhu?
Sure, Prabhuji. The chest of the original personality of the Gangatic form is the luminary planetary system. His neck is the Mahar planets. His mouth is the Janas planet, and his forehead is the Tapas planetary system. The topmost planetary system, known as Satyaloka, is the head of he who has 1,000 heads. Purport: the effluent luminary planets like the sun, and the moon are situated almost in the middle place of the universe, and as such they are to be known as the chest of the original gigantic form of the Lord. And among the luminary planets called also the heavenly places of the universe, the retrograde demigods are the Maha, Janus, and Tapas planetary system, and above all the Loka planetary system, where the chief directors of the modes of material nature reside, namely Vishnu, Brahma, and Shiva. This Vishnu is known as a
Kshirodakashai.
by Vishnu, and he acts as a supreme soul in every living being. There's an innumerable universes floating on the casual ocean, and in each of them, the representation of the Virat form of the Lord is there, along with innumerable suns, moons, heavenly demigods, Brahmas, Vishnus, and Shivas, all of them situated in one part of inconceivability potency of Lord Krishna, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita 10.42. Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you so much. We'll discuss that question at the end, Mataji. 1042. Atava bahunetena kim jnatena tavarjuna vistabhyaham idam krishnam ekam shayana stito jagat. But what need is there, Arjuna? For all this detailed knowledge, with a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. That's what it is saying. Okay. Potency, Vishnu, all of them situated in one part of inconceivable potency of Lord Krishna, inconceivable potency of Lord Krishna, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita 10.42. Yeah. Yeah, now continue with Akinchan Prabhu, can you read?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
His translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His arms are the demigods headed by the Indra. The 10 directional sides are his ears, and the physical sound is his sense of hearing. His nostrils are 2 Ashwini Kumaras, and the material fragrance in his sense of smell. His mouth is the blazing fire. Purport. The description of the genetic form of the personality of Godhead made in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is further explained here in the Srimad Bhagavatam. The description in the Bhagavad Gita 11.30 runs as follows. O Vishnu, I see you devouring all people in your blazing mouths and covering all the universe by your immeasurable rays. Scoring the worlds, scorching world, you are manifest. In that way, Srimad Bhagavatam is the postgraduate study for the students, of the Bhagavad Gita. Both of them are the signs of Krishna, the absolute truth, and so they are interdependent. The conception of Virat Purusha, or the genetic form of the Supreme Lord, is said to include all dominating demigods as well as the dominated living beings. Even the minutest part of the living being is controlled by the empowered agency of the Lord. Since the demigods are included in the genetic form of the Lord, worship of the Lord, whether in his genetic material conception or in his eternal transcendental form, as Lord Sri Krishna also appeases the demigods and all the parts and parcels as much as watering the root of the tree distributes energy to all the tree's other parts. Consequently, for the materialistic also, worship of the universal genetic form of the Lord leads one to the right path. One need not risk being misled by the approaching many demigods for the fulfillment of different desires. The real entity is the Lord Himself, and all others are imaginary. For everything is included in Him only. Correct.
Hare Krishna. There is one word, one Ekam Shena Manasa, something there is word forgot actually. Single pointed devotion. That's if you do single pointed devotion that towards to Krishna, it inclusive of all the tree example we always know, right? Watering the root of the tree. What is there? Okay, the Bhagavad Gita 11.30. This also here explaining about the Arjuna also seen the Virat Roop, Vishwarup Sandarshan. So I think in the previous verse, Prabhupada said that, the same. Here, very detailed description. That's where it is. Further explained here in Srimad Bhagavatam in this one. So I think same, but you can add Prabhu. Welcome Prabhu at the last. Yeah. Sapan Prabhu, can you please read? Then later, then Suman Prabhu.
Translation: the sphere of outer space constitutes his eye pits, and the eyeball is the sun as the power of seeing. His eyelids are both the day and night, and in the movements of his eyebrows, Brahma and similar supreme personalities reside. His palate is the director of water, Varuna, and the juice or essence of everything is his tongue. To common sense, the description in this verse appears to be somewhat contradictory because sometimes the sun has been described as the eyeball and sometimes as the outer space sphere. But there is no room for common sense in injunctions of the Shastras. We must accept the description of the Shastras and concentrate more on the form of Virata Rupa than on common sense. Common sense is always imperfect, whereas the description in the Shastras is always perfect and complete. If there is any incongruity, it is due to our imperfection and not the Shastras. That is the method of approaching the Vedic wisdom. Hare Krishna.
Through the eyes of the Shastra Chakshu. Shastra Chakshu. New words we are learning today actually. Instead of being incongruous or out of keeping.
Roji, incongruence means in the same length, no differences. Okay, there is something known as congruence and convergence in diplomatic parlance. Congruence means they are together from first till last. In every aspect, they have the same ideas and same views. And convergence means on some issues they'll come together, and on some issues they'll be dead against. So incongruity means same, in same frequency. That's what we can call in our normal language.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
That is congruence. Incongruity means if there is a frequency mismatch here in this context.
Instead of being incongruous or out of keeping. The incongruity of his fleshy face or something. Okay. Something that doesn't fit in its location or situation. Something is going up here. Is that correct, Prabhu? Somebody answer something.
Prabhu means he's not agreeing with, or it should not be there like that. That is incongruity means. Congruity means having the same opinion, having same everything, same path and everything.
Okay.
Like
difference.
Two democracies are in congruency. Okay. But communist and democracy, they are in convergence in some aspects.
Yeah. Difference of opinion.
Yes, Prabhuji. Means they are not together.
Yes. Sure, Prabhu. Suman Prabhu, your turn. Please read.
Okay, Prabhuji. Translation. They say that the Vedic hymns are the cerebral passage of the Lord, and his jars of teeth are Yama, god of death, who punishes the sinners. The art of affection is his set of teeth, and the most alluring illusionary material energy is his smile. This great ocean of material creation is but the casting of his glance over us. Purport. According to Vedic assertion, this material creation is a result of the Lord's casting a glance over the material energy, which is described herein as the most alluring illusionary energy. The conditioned souls who are allured by such materialism should know that the material temporary creation is simply an imitation of the reality, and that those who are captivated by such alluring glances of the Lord are put under the direction of the controller of sinners called Yamaraja. The Lord smiles affectionately, displaying his teeth. The intelligent person who can grasp this truth about the Lord becomes a soul fully surrendered into him. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. This is a very nice statement, actually. The intelligent person who can grasp the truths, these truths but the Lord becomes a soul fully surrendered to him with knowledge only. Na? How can understand Krishna with knowledge? By approaching Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, we get to know the personality of Supreme Lord. Very good. So let's go to Amir Jayami. Then you can ask that, you can explain that question. You can read.
Translation. Modesty is the upper portion of his lips. Hankering is his chin. Religion is the breast of the Lord. And irreligion is his back. Brahmaji, who generates all living beings in the material world, is his genitals. And the Mitra Varnas are his two testicles. The ocean is his waist. And the hills and mountains are the stacks of his bones. Purport. The Supreme Lord is not impersonal, as misconceived by less intelligent thinkers. Rather, he is Supreme Person, as confirmed in all authentic Vedic literatures. But his personality is different from what we can conceive. It is stated here that Brahmaji acts as his genitals and that the Mitra Varnas are his two testicles. This means that as a person, he is complete with all bodily organs. But there are of different types with different potencies. When the Lord is described as impersonal, therefore, it should be understood that his personality is not exactly the type of personality found within our imperfect stipulation. One can, however, worship the Lord even by seeing the hills and mountains or the ocean and the sky as different parts and parcels of the gigantic body of the Lord. The Virata Purusha, the Virata Rupa, as exhibited by Lord Krishna to Arjuna, is a challenge to the unbelievers.
Very good.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
So what was the question, Prabhuji? I just checked.
Yeah, one question, Prabhuji. She is asking.
The universal form, same as universal form. Yes, Mataji, both are same.
Here more descriptions, Mataji. Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both are same, Mataji. There's no difference.
Yeah, we are on time. So now 15 to 20 minutes. So what we need to do, Prabhu? Akinchan Prabhu, I think he didn't do that Kunti Maharani prayers. You want to do, Prabhu?
నేను కూడా చేయలేదు ప్రభుజీ.
Okay.
Well,
yeah, I don't know about Gaurav Prabhu and Suman Prabhu. Would you try? Would like to try to recite these two devotees when they recite?
They'll try to run off, Prabhu. Let them listen, na?
Yeah. Yeah. Let them listen. They will listen.
Yeah.
I'm
no
just
mandate,
asking.
Prabhu, for you both, but you can stay and listen. That's it.
Yes. 1 second. Let me open out the document. Yes, for you, no mandatory. Just listen, and if you wanna try, you can try. Open for you. It's up to you. Let me see. Sapan Prabhu, you can do.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Kuntya Vacha Namasye Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakrite Param Alakshyam Sarva Bhutanam Antarbahir Avasthitam Maya Javannika Channam Agnya Dokshajam Avyayam Nalakshase Mudadrisha Nato Natyodharo Yata Tata Paramahamsanam Munina Mamalatmanam Bhakti Yoga Vidanartham Katham Pashyemahi Striya Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namah Pankajanabhaya Namah Pankajamaline Namah Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajagraye Yata Rishikesha Khalena Devaki Kamsena Ruddarti Chiram Sucharpita Vimochitaham Chasahatmaja Vibhu Tvayeva Nathena Muhur Vipadkanat Vishan Mahagne Purushada Darshanat Asat Sabhaya Vanavasa Krichrita Mride Mridene Kamaharatashrato Draunya Stratas Chashma Hare Bhirakshita विपदसन्तु ता शाश्वत तत्र तत्र जगद्गुरु भवतो दर्शनं यत् स्यात् अपुनर्भव दर्शनम् जन्मैश्वर्यश्रुता श्रीभिर्यदमाना मदा पुमान् नैवार्हत्य विधातुं वै त्वामकिञ्चन गोचरम् नमो किञ्चन वित्ताय निवृत्ता गुणवृत्तये आत्मा रामाय शान्ताय कैवल्यपतये नमः मन्ये त्वां कालमीशानाम् अनाधिनिधनं विभुं समं चरन्तं सर्वत्र भूतानां यन्मितः कली न वेद कश्चित् भगवान् चिकीर्षितं तवेहमानस्य नृणां विडम्बनं न यस्य कश्चित् दयितोऽस्ति कर्हि चेत् द्वेष्याश्च यस्मिन् विषमा मतिर्नृणाम्
Yes, Prabhu, 1 second. Yes.
जन्म कर्म च विश्वात्मन् अजस्या कर्तुरात्मना तीर्यन्वसिषु यादशु तदत्यन्तविडम्बनम् गोप्यादते त्वयि कृता गसिदाम तावत् याते दशाश्रु कलिलाञ्जनसम्भ्रमाक्षम् वक्त्रं निनीय भयभावनया स्थितस्या सा मां विमोहयतिभिरपि यद् बिभेति केचिदाहुरजं जातं पुण्यश्लोकस्य कीर्तये यदो प्रियस्यान्ववाये मलयस्येव चन्दनम् अपरे वासुदेवस्य देवक्यां याचितोऽभ्यगात् अजस्त्वम् अस्य क्षेमाय वदाय च सुरद्विषाम् भारावतारनायान्ये भुवो नावा इवो ददौ सीदन्त्य भूरिभारेण जातो ह्यात्मा भुवार्तिता भवेस्मिन् क्लिश्यमानानाम् अविद्यकामकर्मभिः श्रवणस्मरणार्हानि करिष्यन् इति केचन शृण्वन्ति गायन्ति गृह्णन्ति अभीक्ष्णशः स्मरन्ति नन्दन्ति तवेहितं जना त एव पश्यन्ति अचिरेण तावकं भवा प्रवाहो परमं पदाम्बुजम् अप्यद्यनस्त्वां स्वकृते हितप्रभु जिहाससि स्वित्सुहृदो नुजीविना येषां न चान्यद् भवता पदाम्बुजात् पारायणं राजसुयोजितां हसाम् के वयं नाम रूपाभ्यां यदुभिः सह पाण्डवा भवतो दर्शनं यर्हि ऋषिकानामिवेशितु नेयं शोभिष्यते तत्र यतेदानीं गदाधरा त्वत्पदैरङ्किता भाति स्वलक्षसंविलक्षितैः इमे जनापदा स्कृद्धा सुपक्वौषधिभिरुदा वनाद्रिनद्युदन्वन्तो येदन्ते तव वीक्षितैः अथा विशेष विश्वात्मन् विश्वमूर्ते स्वकेषु मे स्नेहपाशम् इमं चिन्ति दृढं पाण्डुषु वृष्णिषु त्वयि मे नान्य विषया मतिर्मधुपते सकृत् रतिम् उदवहता दद्धा गंगे वौघम् उदन्वती श्रीकृष्ण कृष्ण सख वृष्णिर्सभानि श्रीकृष्ण कृष्ण सख वृष्णिर्सभावनिद्र राजन्यवंशदहना पवर्गवीर्या गोविंद गोद्विजसुरार्तिहरावतारा योगेश्वर किल गुरो भगवान नमस्ते हरे कृष्ण
Thank you.
Very nice. Love you. Haribo. Akinjam, Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhu. Kunti Uvacha. नमस्ये पुरुषं पाद्यम् ईश्वरं प्रकृते परम् आलक्ष्यं सर्वभूतानाम् अन्तर्बाहिरविस्थितम् मायाजविकाचन्नम् अज्ञानदोक्षजम् अव्ययम् न लक्ष्यस्य मूढदृशा नटो नाट्यधरो यथा तथा परमांसानां मुनीनाम् अमलात्मानां भक्तियोगेन विधानार्थं कथं पश्येम स्त्रियः कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रये यथा ऋषिकेशकलेन देवकी कंसेन रुदाचिरं रुदाति चिरं सुपार्थिता
सुचर्पिता
सुचार्पिता विमोचितं सहत्मजा विभो वयेनातेन मुहुर्विपत्कनात् विशान्महाग्ने पुरुषादर्श विशान्माग्ने पुरुषादर्शनात् असत्सभ्यः. One second. You're distracted. It got distracted. Yeah. विशान्माग्ने पुरुषाद दर्शनात् असत् सभाया वनवास कृच्छता कृशार्था मृदे नेका महारथाश्रतो दौने अस्त्रास्त्र हरे विरक्षिता विपदत् सन्तु शाश्वत तत्र तत्र जगद्गुरु भवतो दर्शनं यत् स्यात् अपूर्णर्भवद्दर्शनम् जन्मैश्वर्यश्रुता श्रीभिः एधामनमदपुमां नैवार्थार्थी अभिहातुं वै त्वम् अकिञ्चन गोचरम् नमोकिञ्चन वित्ताय निर्वित्तगुणवृत्तये आत्माय शान्ताय कैवल्यपतये नमः मन्ये त्वं कालम् ईशानाम् अनादिनिधनं विभुम् समं चरतं सर्वत्र भूतानां sorry bro
चरन्तं
समं चरान्तं सर्वत्र भूतानां यं मिथः कलिः न वेद कश्चित् भगवान् चिकीर्षितं तवेहं सानस्य निर्णं विदन्वनं न यस्य कश्चित् दयितोऽस्ति कर्षित् देवस्य यस्मिन् विषमा मतिर्निर्नाम
द्वेष्यस्य and taveha manasya प्रभु. Okay.
द्वेषश्च यस्मिन् विषमा मतिर्निर्नाम.
Yes, it's okay. Second one, taveha manasya.
Which line? Third line.
Second.
Okay. Taveha. Yeah. Taveha manasya nirnam vidambanam. Yeah.
Yes, bro.
Vidambanam. जन्म कर्म च विश्वात्मन अजाया कर्तुरात्मनः तीर्यन्निर्शिशु यादसु तद आत्यंत विडम्बनम् गोप्याददे त्वयि कृतागसिदाम तावत् या ते दशासु कलिलाञ्जन सम्भ्रमाक्षम् वक्त्रं निनीय वक्त्रं निनीय भयभाववनाय स्थितस्य सा मां विमोहयति बिरपि यद्बिभीति. ये चिद् अहुरजं जातं पुण्यश्लोकस्य कीर्तये यदो प्रियस्य वयये मलयस्येव चन्दनम् मलयस्येव चन्दनम् sorry bro. Yeah. मलयस्येव चन्दनम् अपरे वसुदेवस्य देवक्यं यचितो भाग्यत् अजस्त्वमस्य के क्षेमाय वधाय सुरद्विषम्. What was the tune? I forgot.
अपरे वसुदेवस्य
अपरे
देवक्यां याचितो
वसुदेवस्य देवक्यं याचितो भाग्यत्
Byagat.
अजस्त्वम्
Byagat.
व्यघात्. Okay. याचितो भाग्यात् अजस्त्वम् अस्य क्षेमाय वधाय च सुरद्विषम्. भारावतारनायान्ये भुवो नव इवोदौ सीदन्ति भूरि भारेण जातो हि आत्मा भुवार्थिता. भावेऽस्मिन् क्लिश्यमानानाम् अविद्या कामः कर्मभिः श्रवणस्मरणारहानि करिष्यन् इति केचन. शृण्वन्ति गायन्ति गृह्णन्ति अभीक्षण सह स्मरन्ति तवेहितं जना. त एव पश्यन्ति अचिरेण तवाकं भाव प्रवाहो परं पदाम्बुजम्. अपि याद्ययनस्त्वं स्वकृतेहितप्रभो जीहस्सि स्वित्सुहृद्रोऽनुजीविनः. येषं न चान्यद् भवता पदाम्बुजात् परायणं योजितामंसम्. केवयं नम रूपाभ्यं यादुभिः सह पाण्डवा भावतो दर्शनं बिहारी ऋषिकेशनम् इवेशितुः.
ऋषिकाणाम् इवेशितुः
ऋषिकाणाम् इवेशितुः. देयं शोभिष्यते तत्र यते धानिं गदाधर त्वत्पदेरङ्किता भाति स्वलक्षणं विलक्षिता. इमे जना पदा स्निग्धा सुपाक्वशौषधौ विरुद्धा.
सुपक्वौषधि विरुदः
औषधौ विरुद्धः वनाद्रिनादि उद्वन्तो हीयदन्तोद्भवीक्षितैः.
Prabhu, once please repeat this after me. इमे जनपदा स्मृद्धा सुपक्वौषधि विरुदः वनाद्रिनद्युतन्वन्तो ये दन्ते तव वीक्षितैः.
इमे जनापदा श्रीरिद्धा सुपक्षौषधौ विरुद्धा वनाद्रिनादि उद्वन्तो ईयेदन्त तव विकीक्षिता.
One more time, Prabhu, please. इमे जनपदा स्मृद्धाः सुपक्वौषधि विरुदः वनाद्रिनद्युतन्वन्तो ये दन्ते तव वीक्षितैः.
इमे जनापदा श्रीरिद्धा सुपक्षौषधौ विरुद्धा वनाद्रिनादि उद्वन्तो ये दन्तो त्ववीक्षिता.
Yes, Prabhu, go ahead.
अथा विश्वेश विश्वात्मन विश्वामूर्ते स्वकेषु मे स्नेहपाशम् इमं छिन्धि. 3 पांडुषु वृष्टेषु. 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 3 पांडुषु वृ त्वयि मे नन्य विषया मतिर्मदोपते सकृत् रतिम् उद्वहतद् अधा गंगेव कौहम उदन्वती। श्री कृष्ण कृष्ण सख्य श्री कृष्ण कृष्ण सखा वृषभावनेत्र राजन्यवंश दहना पवर्गवीर्या गोविंद गोद्विजसुरावतारा योगेश्वर अखिला गुरु भगवन् नमस्ते।
Haribol. Thank you, bro. Thank you so much.
యా ఒకసారి వీడియోకి రండి ప్రభు. అక్కించాం ప్రభు.
ప్రభుజీ
ఒకసారి వీడియోకి రండి.
హరే కృష్ణ.
Very nice, Prabhu. I really love you. You have improved a lot. Seriously, you got the point. Now, grateful to our Lalit Mohan Prabhu trained so patiently. So nice. So good. Love you. Hari Bol.
Prabhu, see, I'm actually more impressed by him in the group than any other one. Because we are all, we have this skill actually, we can inbuilt ourselves. And we can just, twist the words like left and right, and we can understand by 5 or 10 times reciting. But this personality cannot do that. And he knows that, but still he comes. It requires a lot of humility, Prabhu, which is very much lacking in all of us, many of us. At least me, I think. In that way. So I always adore His Grace Akinchan Prabhu because he's very humble. Else, who will come Prabhu, after having we will only demean him many times by reciting him 3 or 4 times. It's not like that, Prabhu. It's not like this, Prabhu. It's like this, Prabhu. Yes, but still he comes. That is his humility.
Very nice.
Actually,
I love that.
Krishna will be so pleased with his efforts.
Really appreciated, Prabhu.
హరే కృష్ణ.
Yes, yes.
And Mataji కూడా అన్నారు జాయిన్ అవుతా అని.
Yes, she will join. Yeah, she'll join. I'll ask her from tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So what we do is, Haribol, yes, Prabhu. Shall we wrap up the call here only? It's what 2 minutes, just 2 minutes. Can I?
Yes, tell me, Baba.
Yes, Prabhu. Shall we start from tomorrow that prayers?
Yeah. I have ready. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So after the prayers, then we'll do a recit. Okay, we will just revise everything.
Yeah. We just take break and
Yeah, we'll take break, Prabhu. We'll just again focus on.
Everything
sure.
we need to.
No new ones.
One more time.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much again.
Thank you so much.
Vidman Prabhu, Akinchan Priya Prabhu, Sandhya Mataji, Samyukta Mataji, Sapan Prabhu, Radhika Mataji, Lavanya, and Suman Prabhu, Gaurav Prabhu, Deepa Mataji. Thank you so much for joining today. Panchakalpatavedascha Prapasindevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Anantakoti Vaishnavavrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada translated book reading ki jai. Queen Kunti Maharani prayers ki jai. Nitaya Gaur Hari Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much. See you all tomorrow.